just a quick one. Instead of like, well, you can like and subscribe if you want, but more importantly, tell your friends. So if you've got some friends, sparks, or people who just like industrial installations, because some people do, let them know. Get them to watch, get the view count up, get them to subscribe, and that'll be most helpful. Obviously, your subscription will be as well. So, hope you enjoy the video, and here goes. This is this week's project. Got two 4-core 150s. I've got two 4-core 185s, two 4-core 240s, and then through there, in that dark corridor, there's some more. So what we've got in here is two 185s. They're actually the 185s that go into that panel there. So they're not long cables, but there's the last cleat on them, as you can see. And what they do is they disappear over the top. I don't know whether I'll have to turn the light on, I think. There we go. So they go over the top there, and they actually go into that panel. They come through that. So in between there, I mean, there's, well, you can see the size of the cable, but that's the insulation on the ducting, and then the side of the rack. So there's no room at all. And then from there, oh dear, from that glam plate up to there, again, no room at all. So that is going to be a job that I'm not looking forward to. What I might have to do, what I'm going to have to do, is take those two cleats off and basically, well, leave the cleats on, get the measure, put the glands on into there with the, you know, so the glands will be down there somewhere. And then once I've got the measure, take the cleat off, take the cable wires off and the ropes off that they've got them tied up with, and pull them down into this corridor, and then lift them back up over and in to the top of the panel, and then hope that they go back into the same place that they've came from. So I'm not looking forward to that one. I think that one's going to be absolutely pants. I better watch where I'm walking as I end up on my arse. But then we've got all of this in here to do this week. Monday was a finish off day, so it's Tuesday today. So I've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to get this somewhere near, and jobs in between. So we'll see how we get on. First thing is getting that up into there. So I've got a strap wrapped round it, onto the ratchet puller up the top. So I'm just going to pull that up and into there now so I can get a measure into the gland. So we'll have a go at that. Oh, actually that's a lie. I'm going to lift it as high as I can, then I'm going to do that. So I don't need that on really, look. Waste of time, won't it? Right, let's have a look. I'll just snap the tyre up. That's a good start. Tell you what, we'll stop and do it in a minute. We'll get some wires so we can tie things down. So yeah, just making some tie wires out of a smaller cable, 3-core 2.5, I don't know, 3-core 4mm. I think if you get up towards like the 3-core 10mm, the wiring, the armouring's a bit thick, so you want to be sort of underneath the 4-core 10mm, I think. And there's in one of the other videos, it shows you how to do it. This is the only bit I could find, so it might not be long enough to do 2 bunches. Let's see. So just a rough way to check. So there's that, and then okay. What I might do is I'll just make one bunch, which is like just fold them in half basically, which is mega long, which is too long really, but I might be able to get the end cut off and use it again. I'll just see if that works. Might not. Right. So I've just snapped the tire off that one, so I'm going to try here. Lift that across. Now I've got 4 there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to double that over and I'm going to put 8 around this one. And if that snaps off, we're all knackered. Right, that's a good tie on there now. So I'm going to lift it by hand up into there and then get a wrap round it and use the ratchet puller to pull it up. It'll only pull up so far because it'll this side of it will hit there, and then I'll use that piece of scrap that I've just cut off to get a measure to the gland somewhere near, drill the holes, and then I can get a better measure exactly to the top of the cone of the gland. But obviously I'll take you up there to show you that. Right, let's have a look. This out the way. Out the way. See what I get. Hold that in place. I underestimated the kid. With them being 4-core 150s, they're quite easy to lift, so I didn't really use the ratchet. I just used my shoulder to lift it. So now we'll go up there and have a look at the measure. Right, I'm going to get them 2 of them in there. 1, 2. Should be enough room past the lip, and then they can just sweep over with those over and down, bang into there. There should be enough room to get, if we just look quickly, under there. So that's where they're going to go. So there's enough room to get the lock nuts tightened and whatnot, and enough room for them to drop without interrupting any other cables going into panels. So we're going to have a look at that. I'll get them drilled, get the holes drilled out, and then we can get a measure. Right, so the first thing I always do is make sure that the banjos fit side by side, and then you know that your glands are going to sit right. You don't need to measure them. I know some people do. Right, so firstly, I want to measure where the banjos go. You can do this with tapes, or like, you know, you can measure the actual side, but for me that's just as easy. Put them together and then I can get my little mark to where I need to drill them. It's a lot more simpler than trying to measure the outside diameters of things. And there we go. So there's my two little crosses, and I can drill when I find my pen top. That just fell off in my pocket conveniently. Jesus wept, there it is. Need to book your ideas up, Sharpie. Pen top keep coming off in people's pockets. It's not acceptable. So 6mm through first. A little spray of the WD-40 multi-purpose cutting oil because it's fantastic. .51mm cutter this is. Push up, little twist, locks in. There we go. Right, now I'm going to put that back in, unscrew that. Now if you look, you don't really need to put the cone in, because if you see that the cone where your armouring would sit, there's a little lip on it, and that little lip sits flush with the top of that threaded part, so that doesn't need to go on. You can leave that out. So then take our measuring device, you put it onto the top of the cone there, and I'm happy with the way that's running. So what I'm going to do is transfer this on to the cable. And the way you do it is, so that was up there, it dropped down. So now keep it on the top side of the cable. There we go, look. On the top side it comes down. Pull it off, there we go, that's on the top side. Now what I'm going to do is follow that all the way down, and I'm going to put a mark just below there. Let me see. Need the white pen for this. There we go. So that is where we're going to transfer down now, do the armouring cut, then I'm going to get a measure of what I need, cut the cable, and once the cable's cut then I can put the gland on. Everyone's a winner, baby. And then hopefully it fits. There we go, there's our mark. There's the end of the cable. So I'm going to do the cut on that now. I'm going to measure to go into that switch, and then I can cut the cable. I'm not going to be taking a lot off it, I don't think, to be honest. But I can cut it, and then I can put the actual, strip it and put the actual gland on. So that'll be the next step. Right, so that's the mark for where the gland's going to go. And if you follow it down, there's 2 meters. There's the end of the cable. So you're cutting off like 1/2 meter, but I am going to cut it off because it means that I don't have to lose the other half a metre up there, and it could be critical. It could hit that conduit box, it could, you know what I mean, it could get stuck. That could just be enough to get the cable in, so I am going to cut it off. And I always do, even if it is a little bit, a tiny bit, because you just never know that the cable might get stuck. So I'm going to put the gland on now. Take this off because it's just getting in the way. Because I've got the temporary tie on above, which is actually holding the cable up anyway, so there's no need for it to be there. Right, that's the armour cut done. Strip it now. Tell you what. Oh, I don't have a new blade. Change the blade. I'm just going to cut one off slightly longer, put it round, twist it up. There's a bit on, like on my Instagram page, shows you how to do that, and shows you why you do that. So much easier than, I mean, they're good, but with them bolt croppers, loads easier. So if you look, I've got the little tie on, and then that keeps the PVC from sort of doing that, from bending out. As you bend those up, it keeps them in place. So they come off. You see that? Oh, wrong, right, the camera's on the wrong bloody side. So nice and straight, look. If that's not on, you've got a chance. I'm not saying you will, but there is a chance that you'll bend them too far. The PVC won't be able to hold them in place, and you get a fish hook. Then it's awkward getting the gland back on, or getting the gland started. So I'll set that back down now, and actually get it glanded. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut that off the temporary tie, just so this drops down, and actually get the gland on. There's no point. Or should I just stand in there? Should I do that? Yeah, I'll do that. Need some better stage lighting, that's for certain. Right then. Take that off, I think. I don't want to take that off. That drill. So what the plan is now, pull the cable up, back into there, and then get the bend on it and down into the gland plate, hopefully. That's the lock knot. Oh no, it isn't. It's that lock knot. Right then. Yeah, I want to take that off and see if I can manoeuvre this. It's not too bad at the minute. It's sort of resting on the floor a little bit. Wasn't too bad, was it? Like I said, it's a 4-core 150, so it's still light enough to manoeuvre about a bit. Right. This is where it gets difficult putting the bend in it. Ow, fingers. So what I need to do is just pull it at this point here. I just need to pull that down, and then what that will do is it'll push this bit, that bit there, that way ever so slightly. So the way I'm going to do that is with the ratchet strap. I have to balance this on the edge so it doesn't fall over. Love it when other people wrap your gear up. Never do it the same. And leave it dusty as well. I'll utilise the panel itself, although it's probably made out of tin foil and it's going to bend, so. Mate, ready? I love this. Oh, come on. That means it's in. There we go. Right, now, that looks pretty straight. I'm going to tie it temporarily again to this piece of unistrut so it doesn't move back this way, and then I can get the lock nut on. Oh. Another. No, that's alright. That's fine. There we go. Right, see what happens. I'm going to take this off. Lovely, nothing. It's good stuff. So that's that one glanded. That's in. Now I've just got to follow the next one. So obviously the next one runs with it, up, over the top, down and in. So it's the same process again. Take the back nut, well not the back nut, take the, what should be the cone, that in. I'll lift the cable up into this position, tie it temporarily, get the measure with the little bit that's just fell on the floor. Nice one. So I'll get that, do that, and then I can put the gland on, and it's exactly the same process as that one there, so pointless repeating it. So I'll get those two in, then I'll terminate them, and then if you can see, there is the next gland plate, and there'll be four. There'll be a two 4-core 240, two 4-core 240s, two 4-core 185s, plus the earths that go with them. So I'll have to drill a hole for the earth for this one, which is a 32, I think. So I'll put it in front, so there'll be a 32 coming through. What I'll do is, where it runs, I'll make a gap in the middle of the cables, and then the earth will drop sort of there. It'll come through the gap in the middle of the cables into that, so that's how I'll rig it up. I'll do the same with these two, let that one drop in the front as well. So yeah, well, that'll be the next thing. I'll be over there with the 240s, which aren't going to be as easy because, and the 185s, because they're obviously a lot bigger and a lot more of a fart about. So we'll just have to see how I get on with them. I'm hoping to get at least all 6 glanded today. See how many terminations I get done, and then I've got to move on to those awkward ones at the start of the video, which are going to be, well, quite frankly, they're going to be a disaster, and they're not going to look nice, but what can we do? There we go, that's the two 150s in, and the two earths, well, that earth in, obviously those two cables were in before, so that's them done. Throw into there. I'm not going to terminate them yet, I'm going to wait because I've got those to go in soon, so I'm going to get some more glanding done, then some more terminations when I'm on the floor and I can get all of the stuff down, all the tools down and everything that needs to get put down, and then I can concentrate on just working on the floor. So I'll set up and we'll have a look at getting these 240s in. Oh God. Another problem that arises is room, right? That's almost up to the edge of the panel now, but I need to be in there. Now I can't bend those 185s anymore, I don't think. And obviously the 240s themselves are just completely in the way, and I need to be in there. Because I need to be up there to try and put a piece of unistrut on the ceiling to allow me to pull, give it like an anchor point to pull stuff up to. So what am I going to do? I'll come up with a plan. So the plan is just to pull them up into there so I can get the machine past. We'll see how that goes. That's good. The only thing is now the door's going to be in the way. See. What am I going to do about that? I can live with that for now, I think. In fact, I'm going to turn the machine round so the gates are on this side. Right, we've had a bit of a development. Basically, if you remember, that panel there was in that hole over there, but we've had to move it because that 240, which is on its way up now, so it's sort of, I'm getting it pulled up into place to get a measure on it. The bend on the cable from that rung up there to where I had it tied onto that bit of unistrut on that. As it pulled it, it was just twisted. There was not enough room, so we've had to move this panel out the way completely in order to get a nice arc, like there, look, a nice arc on the cable to come over into the gland. So I'm just on my way ratcheting that up now, and I'll be able to get a measure on it, I hope. Things you have to do, eh? We're just going to get a temporary tie on it to hold it in place, and then I can release all of the ratchets on it and stuff and get a... Oh, what was that? Oh, it was my socket. Mustn't lose that. So there we go, that's that tied up there. Should be able to get a nice measure on it now, and then that I'll be able to get it. So I'm going to put them, where am I going to put them? There and there. And then what I'm hopefully going to do with the two 185s, which are in the inside, what I'm going to do is bring them forward and go for like here and here, because there won't be enough of the 63 mils, so there won't be enough room across the back. I don't think, it might be, for all of the... Oh no, doing that, yeah, one, no, I can't. 1, 2, 3, no, I don't think I will. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, but that's fair. I'm going to get a measure on that now with the little white piece of cable which is there. That drops in, up into there, into that corner, and then I've got to lift it from there up into here. Hopefully I've got enough room, and then back into where it lives. So wish me luck. Well, the 240s are in. I don't think I'm going to get much terminating done tonight. I've got the earth to go away, but they were a task. I didn't even video it because there'd have been that much swearing. YouTube would have just demonetized the actual video, or it would have had no sound to it anyway, because it had just been beep 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 beep. They were fun. So that's the two cables there. So they leave the rack at that point, rise up, and what I had to do was put the farthest one to the right in first, and then the other one came around it, but it pulled against it because of the shape of the cable. So that I was laid down flat on top of the panel, pulling it over the top of my body to get it up there. Then I had to try and ratchet it in. And I'm just holding it in there with the blue ratchet strap you can see across, and then the chain block up and down just to pull it into place so I could tighten the lock nut. The lock nut's tight now, so hopefully when I take those off it'll stay in place. I'm just drilling the hole for the earth to go in, which is a 240 earth, 32mm brass stuff and gland, so I'm going to put that in. I might just drop on to that tonight and start stripping the cables ready to go into that switch there in the morning. I was hoping to get the terminations done tonight, but those were so much of a pain I haven't got round to it. So I'm just hoping these bad boys, what I'm putting in tomorrow, aren't as bad. They are only 185s, so I'm hoping that they're going to be a bit easier. But yeah, I've been a bit held up today. I haven't had any dinner, I haven't had any breakfast, I haven't had anything today. I've worked right through and achieved bugger all. So that's the two to do tomorrow, and then those two earths need to go onto the earth bar as well. Right, what I've got to do now is tighten the lock nut for the stuffing gland, which is right in the corner. I don't even think you can see it. You might be able to make it out. Hang on, see if I can put the light on, see if you can make it out. There it is, look. So you can see that. Now I'm tightening it from underneath, but I'm not long enough to get the grips on it and tighten it and hold the stuffing gland at the top. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to do this. I've put the adjustable gland spanner on it, braced it up against the gland, and when I tighten the lock nut underneath, it doesn't move. It just grips it in, it holds it in place so I can get a good tighten on it. Obviously you'll have to trust me because I can't even film it, I don't think. No, I can't. But anyway, that's how I'm doing it. I'm not telling fibs, honest. That's how I'm doing it. As you can see, a bit of a sweat on. It's been warm doing them big buggers. So I'm just going to get on tightening that now, get the earth in, and then I might drop onto those 150s, get them prepped for tomorrow for termination. It's been an interesting day today. Right, I'm going to try and demonstrate quickly. I've got like 20 minutes or something. I'm going to try and show you how I bend. I'm going to do the neutral at the top. It's going to be this cable, and I'm going to bend it and show you how I try and drop it in enough for the other cable to come round and then go on the front side, which is here. So this one's going on the back, bend in, and then the other cable in there, I'll bend round the front of it and go onto the front. I'll see if I can show you that quickly without my body getting in the way. So what I do first and foremost is really over exaggerate the bend, and then what that does is the cable wants to spring back really, so when it springs back it sort of fits to where it wants to go. So that means, if you can see that, but that's, you might be coming up from there, but that's not far away. So then what we do, tie up, put the tire up into the lug, up to the knuckle, like I've shown you before. And there's the tie up in, up to the knuckle. Yeah. And it's just making sure. And there we go. Now I'm happy with that. So you then transfer. Not that you can see, or can you see? I'll bend it like that. So that is where I'm going to put my mark, and that's where I'm going to cut the cable. So there's the mark. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut across from the top side to the bottom side, because that is the long side. That's the, because you've got a long bit and then you've got two short bits that go to a point. So the cable is shaped like that essentially, isn't it? So I'm going to cut across that bit and that bit, and then what that does is it goes like that, bends the cable, not all the way, but it bends it slightly round. So we'll get Emu on the job, see if he's got enough battery. Oh, he's not battery, oil he needs. Come on Emu, for God's sake, embarrassing. I have to send him away to get the oil changed, and when I got in touch with Clouker, it's a 6-month wait, possibly 3, on getting the oil filled up. So I thought, oh, I'll have a go myself. Jesus Christ, you need a degree in engineering just to have a look at it. Right, I've got the heat shrink, but it seems to be absolutely enormous, so I don't know whether it's the right one. Whether anyone can tell me. I've got the heat shrink for a 240, but I'm not really up on heat shrink sizes, whether it's 240 and down over, or it's 240 is the least and it goes up, so there's a different size for 185 and for 150. I don't even know, like, pet lamb. Where's my lug? There it is. So obviously there's your lug, it goes on that way because you want the flat palm to be on the back of there. I'm going to give it a little squeeze with my grips if I can find them. Yeah. And this, obviously you squeeze across the 2 long points again, and this just rounds it off a wee bit more. And if we need to, we'll give it a little tap with a hammer. That's like. Just rotating a slight touch. That's about it. Let's have a look. Right, I'm happy with that. I'll get some crimpages on there. There we go. And that's that. I'll slide that up. That is huge. I'd be well surprised if that shrinks down to the 150. I'll put this in now. And then what I'm going to do is I'll fit another lug over the top, ready for the next cable when that comes in. I don't have to mess about then, because it's already there. So that's that. I've got, obviously those 4 to do in the morning, and he's lifting up a little bit, he's pushing back a little bit. Those 4 to, well, 3 to bring in tomorrow, and then this cable here, that one, I'll untie, that's tied there, I'll untie that and then bring that round the front, similar to what this one is, bum bum bum, and then move on to the 240s. Once the 240s are in, actually I'm not going to, no, I'm going to leave the 240s unglanded, and I'm going to put those 2 185s up and in, so I don't have to pull the cables around the terminations. Yeah, that'll make more sense. So terminate that first thing in the morning, then move on to those. I might have to shorten them a little bit, but there wasn't a lot come off the others. That's it, that's what's come off. Tiny little bits, 400mm, 500mm, not a lot at all. So the cable gang were pretty accurate in the measurements when they've cut them down. You know who you are, you cheeky devils. So yeah, that's day 1 really, but day 2 on the job. So this is Tuesday.